I think the term quiet quitting was created to have that negative connotation because it
Hmm.
was a way that someone from a leadership position looks down on someone who's not going to just jump ahead and do favors, go out of their way, run personal errands for their
Hmm.
managers or bosses or whatever. Because that's almost at the point where a lot of companies expect that from their employees, and they
Yeah.
hold the idea of, well, I mean, you can't really expect to advance or go any further up, the ladder within your industry if you don't reach out and do a little extra for people and show them that you're a team player. I mean, the perspective from the business owner is also very different
Hmm.
from
Of course.
the employee, and that's where I think, not HR, because HR, as we know, HR works for the company, not the person. But if you have a good layer of middle management that is in tune with the, I guess you could say, the atmosphere and the culture of the business and where you want it to be, they can
Hmm.
play that both sides between the boss and between the employee, and yeah, kind of
Yeah.
even the playing field there for, yes, you want a little extra, but at the same time, they've been giving you everything you've been asking for, and you need to give them a little extra space so that they don't get burnt out. You know what I mean? There has to be an equilibrium there that's going to keep it in balance. But the quiet quitting itself as a term, like I said, it just has a negative connotation. Like
Yeah.
you're not even trying. Like, oh, there's so many jobs out there that as an employee, I can just pretty much do what I want all day. And if they fire me, there'll be 10 other places that I could just move to and just
Which,
find a job right
you know,
away.
it like anything else, they're polarizing the issue. They're making it bigger out than it actually is. I'm not gonna pretend like there isn't, workplace harassment or exploitation. That definitely happens. Certainly happens in the
Oh,
United
for sure. It's
States.
happened to me in the
Uh,
past, for sure.
Yeah, and there definitely are employees where they are actually technically stealing from the company by pretending to work 8 hours and are actually working 3 to 4 hours.
I knew
It,
those
it goes
people as
both
well.
ways. That is an issue. That is an issue. It happens. It happens in every job. The
Right.
bigger the company, the more likely it is to happen. But as much as articles and social media are trying to pretend like this is an epidemic where people are just quality quitting, no. And I've seen my fair share of people that are just, they live to work, and there are others that work to live. And I'm on the latter, and I've had a pretty good experience with exactly what you just mentioned, middle management, people that are my superiors, that they understand that I'm trying just to churn out my work, do my best work within the bounds of my contract, and they make sure that my superiors, their superiors, understand that I am actually a good employee, that I'm giving everything I can, and because I'm not being exploited or expected to give out more than I can or should, when the time comes, when there is a deadline that we're behind for whatever reason, or there is an issue that I have to stay late, that I have to put in the extra hours, that I have to put in that Saturday or that Sunday, I am happy to do it. Because at no point did I feel like I'm being taken advantage. I feel
Right.
like I'm part of the team, that I'm contributing to the company that is also giving me, a livelihood. And I am happy to help out my team and definitely the company itself. It just happens naturally. It's a healthy relationship. I know I certainly feel that way with my current job at Pixel. And
Yeah,
I've,
I would say we're a little bit of a, I guess, phenomenon where it's a smaller, kind of
mhm,
tight knit group of people. Even though we are a remote agency, um, we kind of, well, we really try to foster that culture of team. We are a team, and we got each other's back. It doesn't really matter if you're a junior developer, senior developer, project manager, designer, tester, copywriter, whatever. If you're part of the team, then we got your back. And as long as there's you know, that equal give and take of what is expected versus what is output, then yeah, it seems to work out pretty good. And I'm sure through that, at least through my eyes, I've seen that anytime there is a situation that comes up where it requires a little bit of a, not quite sure if they're just slacking off or are they just like dealing with something, we're always leaning on the side of, hey man, how can we help you? What do you need?
yeah,
What can we do? Not like, what are you doing? Why are you slacking off?
yeah. It's always assuming positive intent, and I think we have a pretty healthy team where that is the norm, and that has worked very well for us. But
Yeah,
again, we all feel like we're part of a team, and that if we are putting the extra work and making a little bit of sacrifice, is for the team, and we
for
feel
sure.
that our team is giving us that back. If I need to stay until 7 p.m. one day, even though I'm tired, I know so-and-so is going to be there with me. He's going to be supporting. He's going to do pair work. And every time, for example, that I've had to work a Sunday, David is usually there with me. Even if he's just there for moral support or just complaining about something, he is there. And he has a family, he has kids, he's pulling himself out of his family time just to support his employees. And that itself makes me happy and completely okay with giving, a little more than I'm supposed to.
Yeah,
and
there's been projects that I've worked on where like it requires, it's not our fault and it's not really the client's fault, but it's a situation where something's got to be done. But then, like for instance, website's ready to go, but you can't publish it until a certain date. That date is on a Sunday, but you won't have the last little thing that you need till Saturday.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Friday, you're not going to be like, well, sorry, sorry about your deadline, your grand opening, whatever, just later. No, of course you'll be like, all right, well, as soon as you get it to me, Saturday, you kind of carve out, okay, I know I'm going to have to do this, probably take an hour or so, and then Sunday I'll probably have to do this. And, I might need help Sunday if there's something that goes weird. And you get that Slack ping. Like in my situation, it would be like a Slack ping from David, like, hey man, just let me know if you need any help. Doing this now, but I'll be home later at this time and I'm there for you. And then a couple hours later, hey man, are you still working on this? Why don't I buy you dinner? And then he's offered to Uber some dinner over to you or whatever. Sunday comes up, you're like, okay, I know this is a launch day. What do you need from me? And meanwhile, you're like, dude, I got it. It's fine. It's no problem. But knowing that support system is in line,
I feel like this is giving more of the what these people are expecting, what these companies that are complaining about quiet quitting or hustle culture are expecting. You're getting loyalty, you're getting hard work, and you're getting employees that are doing this out of, not kind of cheesy, but the goodness of their heart. They're happy to be a team player and go the extra mile. And you can achieve this with just being a good place to work at, a healthy work environment, balanced, healthy work-life balance. And you don't need to spy your employees to achieve this, and you don't have to, employ multi-$1,000 computer systems that are going to allow you to inaccurately predict what your employees are doing. Hire a couple more middle managers, some people that are actually charismatic and friendly and care about people, and have them
not micromanagers, middle managers.
Yeah, just hire 2 or 3 of these folks, which are going to be cheaper than buying your software and employing a couple more developers just to maintain it, and they're going to be able to give you a very accurate pulse on how the team is doing and what you can do to help out your team. Be more productive, but also be happy about the productivity that they're giving. And you're going to have employees that are not going to job hunt hop just because they feel like the company that they're at is not giving them anything, which also, that's a whole different thing that a lot of developers mostly, or a lot of people in tech tend to job hop just so they can get more, better compensation. And they do this because people like money, but mostly they have no loyalty to any company because they don't feel like the company has loyalty to them.
Yeah, the culture has not been established at said company to where they're just like, okay, I'll give this place 6 months to a year and then I'll start looking for my next step.
Yeah,
I've seen that happen too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all these issues that are just becoming like unnecessarily popular and talked about can easily be solved if you just have a healthy work culture. If you create, company loyalty the right way, we can get rid of this whole, with the rise and grind, the whole quiet quitting and burnout. If you just care about your employees, and it's not that hard. No, it's not hard to be nice. Harder to be not nice.
If you had any questions or comments out there in listening land and you wanted to send them in, you can email us at hello@thebigpixel.net. You could follow us on social media. We're on every social media platform that is relevant these days, even TikTok. And you can make comments on our YouTube videos where you can watch this podcast as well as just listen to it if you want on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever.